with Gigi.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I hope we got good audio. Sin City Prepping, Tim Mathwasan, Pete, Edward,
Hey, Mr.
Sean.
Eddie.
Hey, we're so glad you're here. We've got a few things that we wanted to share tonight. We actually had a date night, and
We
CT
did, which
Prepper.
we don't
Neil,
get very often.
Neil, thank you for being here all the time, buddy. I appreciate it. All right, so
Galatian Acres is on here too. Somebody just said.
our main goal tonight is to bring attention to things that are costing you money that you might be able to get on top of. And there's a few things that we've done lately that have saved us quite a bit of money.
Well, what I told Chris, so we actually, on the way to our date night tonight, we stopped at our P.O. box and I pulled out a document and I'm like, oh my goodness, here comes another hidden cost. And we started talking about that, of how many things have hidden cost that if you don't pay attention to the bills, if you don't look at the amounts, and it's just, you'll just pay it and you don't even know what you're paying.
It's every time you go to the box.
It is.
It's like constantly people are trying to take your Lucky Charms.
Yep.
Everywhere you go, they're
Yep.
trying to get your money.
Yep.
They want to give you something free and then take from you later.
Yep.
They're using every trick in the book, and they'll actually, when you unsubscribe, they'll keep you subscribed.
Yep.
And you forget about it thinking it's done, and then 3 months later they've already got
I
whatever.
spent an hour on the phone today unsubscribing. It's from 3 things. I mean, you have to constantly work at this stuff. We thought we'd talk about it.
We want to talk around that,
and I'd like to know your comments.
There's a few moves you can make and probably get out of some of these things that you don't even know you're doing. You don't even know you're paying.
Yeah, there's Chris and Sandy. Yeah, yeah.
There's a ton of people. Get out of that.
All right, sorry. All right, read what we've learned.
I love to read the comments. I love you guys are here, but if we do that, then
we get sidetracked.
It gets sidetracked, and it takes away from the whole deal. So I'll bring you guys up because I enjoy. I would just love to read comments. Actually, I would just love to sit here and visit with you, everybody. But it gets convoluted.
Yeah, it does. It does. But anyway, thanks, Tina, for saying, look at that pup. She's my baby. And that's another thing I want to talk about.
Something about Gigi. If you say something about Gigi, you'll probably get recognized.
But I'm going to tell you something else. It's a hidden cost when it comes to animals, too. We'll get into that a little bit later.
Oh, that's so true.
Yeah, but let's just kind of what we've learned. Because, man, I constantly have to go at it. I have to constantly look at our bills, look at our things and see what's hidden, what comes in there. But
what have you noticed lately?
Oh, my goodness. Well, today. So there's constantly renewing fees. When you sign up for something and you say, oh, I'm just going to do it for a month, or I'm just going to do it for a year, and then all of a sudden they renew it. And then you go to discontinue it. Let me just tell you, I spent an hour on the phone today trying to discontinue some websites that we have tried to, said, no, we just want it for a year. We paid a year, did not ask for automatic renewal with GoDaddy.com. And I spent an hour on the phone with them trying to get that done. So that's just something, when you sign up for something, they say, oh, it's just for a year. Yeah, that didn't mean that.
No.
Also, you have checking account and savings accounts. They're going to tell you there's no fees. As long as you have so much in there, you're fine. Not true. Same thing. I've been through this so many times. The other day, I just noticed one more time. They're like, no, you will never have to pay a fee for every month. One more time. They've slid it in there again. And so I'm going to have to call again tomorrow and go, hey, you guys, you said that you guys weren't going to charge us for this. And then you have to constantly fight. And sometimes it's exhausting. It's like, will this ever end? Like, you're always every day. And then the other thing is cell phones. That's another thing. They always charge these fees in or these taxes in, and you have to ask, hey, what are you charging me for? What are you doing? And that's another thing we actually have to revisit right now. That's on my list to do. Our cell phone's gotten a little high, and we're going to have to go back and revisit and go, all right, renegotiate.
All right. Okay. Cell phones,
insurance.
And what was the other one that I said earlier?
I don't remember the other one you said.
There's another one. Any kind of prescription that you're getting.
Oh, medicines and stuff when you have,
medicines, prescriptions.
Yep.
Any kind of sign up type thing that you're doing, revisit that.
Yes.
You'll be able to save bukus because these companies, get you feeling comfortable with them.
Mhm.
They up the price a little bit, $10, $5, not enough to matter, and then $5 or $10 not enough to matter, and then all of a sudden it's $40, and it's like, wait a minute, what's going on here?
Yep.
Revisit those things. If you do it with your insurance, you'll save thousands.
Yep.
Literally.
You do.
Every 3 years,
Yep.
revisit that and make. Here's the deal. There's a lot of people that read books,
but they don't ever do anything.
They don't ever take action.
Yep.
I've only read about 3 books in my whole life, but I acted on all of them.
He listens to a lot of books.
Well, I actually have to listen and read and listen. I have to really consume it. I have to get it in me. I have to really, really get it all to take the action. But people that just read books, they just kind of flip pages and read through it and then grab another. I know people that read 5 and 6 books at a time, but they never put it to action and they're still in poverty and they don't do anything. So find one book and focus, as hard as that is for me. I have to focus on one thing and get it done. So that helped me. There's
so many other ones. You can make sure it's transaction fees. Whenever you guys do transactions, when you do PayPal, there's another thing. PayPal, they charge fees if you choose a certain way to do it versus another way to do it. When you do a home closing, there's fees. I'm just telling you, there's so many.
How do you
fees.
Get out of that? Here's the thing. That's what we want.
Because you've got to question it. That's the problem. Nobody wants to take the time to question and pick up the phone and spend 45 minutes and go, why? Why are you charging me this? And I question people. And so that saves us money. And it is. Chris will come in and he's like, I'm sorry, babe, you're doing this again. I'm 45 minutes on the phone, but it saved us $250. It saved us $145. It saved us $300. When I have to constantly do this, you have to constantly review what you're doing, constantly review the documents. And I could go on ATM fees. That's another one. Make sure that your ATM fees are every time you do that. Make sure when you deposit something that you're not getting a fee for depositing. I know they charge fees for something like that. It's so many hidden fees that you have to look at.
So, insurance, health insurance.
Health insurance, there's not a lot of hidden fees for the upfront cost. Now, there's hidden fees when it comes to
health insurance is an enormous scam. Just know that on the front. We don't ever use health insurance. We just pay for it. I pay $1,000 a month out of my pocket for health insurance that we never use. So because we have to take care of the people that don't care about their health. That's the truth. That is the truth.
It is. But when you do get a bill and you have to go to the doctor, if the insurance does not pay for that completely, I have disputed it and I've actually won because you have to question the fees. You're like, what was this fee for? Here's the truth. You can't just blindly pay a bill. You've got to look on every single bill. And I know, Chris, we laugh. And I am a little bit OCD sometimes on that kind of stuff. But he's good at that. He's like, Stacy, why? Question it. Why? And so I go down through it and I say, what is this fee for? What is this fee for? And I call him. I'm like, why? Why are I being charged this? And we've saved money numerous times for this. It takes time. But I think sometimes if you do that, it helps you in the end run. End game or whatever you want to call it. But that's some of my notes there.
Auto renew.
No, I just drove. It's okay.
Auto renew fees. That's a good one.
So this is what I was saying.
Phone.
Sometimes you sign up for like auto renew. Like for example, right now we have a PO box that we sign up that's auto renew every month, but they just charge an extra fee the other day. So I've got to say, so I just called them. I'm like, why are you charging an extra fee? They're like, well, we're going up. I'm like, no. You gotta.
Well, what are you gonna do about a PO box?
There's a transaction fee and then there's a renewal fee. That's where you have to look at the differences.
Yeah, but it's a PO box, isn't it? The government saying.
But you still can dispute it.
See, married a good woman.
Yeah, all you can do is ask. All I can do is say no.
All you can do is raise hell. Cell phone. That's one I have fell down on big time.
Yeah, we got to start that next week.
I have not done well on that. I know we're paying too much for a cell phone.
We are. If anybody has any ideas, let us know. That's our next goal.
How much are we paying?
Way too much. Don't even ask me right now.
Something.
Yeah.
But we've got several things, internet and all this stuff.
We got several phones and internet and about $213.
$213 for 2 phones and
internet.
Well, I want to know there's no shame in it.
No, it's about $213 a month, and we've got 2 cell phones and we've got internet, and that's it. Yeah, on that bill.
Yeah, so that should be about $100 no more.
It should be.
We're going to get down. When I figure that out, I'll let you know. Checking and saving accounts.
I mentioned that earlier.
Okay.
So I told you guys,
Apps on your
just
phone.
check every time ever. Just make sure, because if people come in and they say, hey, we're going to charge you $15 for a month, and then they're like, oh no, we're not. But well, again, they just slipped it back in on us the other day on another checking that we have, a business checking. So I'm gonna have to call again and fight that whole thing again. And I know it's just $15, you guys, but at the end of the day, it adds up. When you got $15 here, you got $20 here, you got $50 here. It just adds up. Gigi, she's like, she could care less. By the way, I'm gonna talk about dog stuff at the end too, about how to save for dog stuff.
Apps on your phone. This is a big one
For him.
for me, because they help me. Applications help me in what I'm doing. Anything that helps me, I want to try. And what'll happen is they'll promise you 7 days or 5 days or whatever it is, or a month, and you'll either forget about it, or they won't take it off when they say they will. They'll keep it going. They'll keep charging you, and you'll think it's done, and you know, and they'll just drain you. And if you have any question, or if you haven't checked lately, settings, apps, I think it's go to settings, general apps. I'm not sure how to get there right off the tip of my tongue, but make sure you check the apps you're paying for.
Mm-hmm.
And all you gotta do is go to settings. It's a couple clicks away, and it could save you hundreds of dollars a month. It's nutty how much money you'll save.
Well, so I came to Chris one day, because a lot of that comes through the credit card or the PayPal. And I was like, babe, what is this? $15, $15 every week, $15, $15. And it was like multiple. I'm like, what the heck is going on? And matter of fact is, so we keep a minimum amount in our checking account. I don't keep a lot, just in case, maybe a couple thousand, but I don't keep a lot just in case it does get hacked. And overnight it was gone. And the next morning I woke up and we were overdrawn. And I'm like, I've not paid any bills. I'm like, what in the world is going on? It was his apps. It was $15 here, $15 here. And he had done an Uber drive, I think, or something like, because he was out of town or something like that. But
most of it was legit.
But I was like, what in the world happened? And it was these reoccurring things that you just don't think about, and you just don't pay attention, and they just get processed every week, every month. And you got to pay attention to this kind of stuff, because it would drain you dry. We're just telling you what we've learned.
Yeah. So check your apps on your phone. Some of them are draining you dry. That's just fact. If somebody right now will take the time to go look, they'll save money. Let me know if you do. Put it in the comments. What does that say? Utility bills. You've already touched on most of this, right?
Yeah, insurance fees. We've already touched on that. Okay, here's another thing too. If you guys, Chris, we learned the other day about it. Even if you schedule a flight and you pay for insurance, that doesn't always cover everything. Just so you know, there's always hidden fees. Remember that when you did?
Oh yeah, it's a joke. They insure your flight, but if something happens, it's so much. Sorry, it's a couple $100. To do anything other than everybody's trying to get you. Yep. I'm telling you, everybody's trying to get your Lucky Charms. That's why, just know, as we get into the Thunderdome, everybody on the other side of the table is trying to take what you got. Everybody. Including the people that are pumping Bitcoin right now. Have you looked on the internet? You look on the interwebs, and Bitcoin's getting a little spike, and they're trying to me, this could be the last time Bitcoin ever pumps. It could go straight to the moon from here. But more than likely, they're FOMOing. They're starting this FOMO program to get people in and then jerk the rug out from under them again for one last good rug pull. That's what I think's going on. Now, I could be completely wrong. I am dead serious. Bitcoin could go to the moon. But how did we get on Bitcoin? I don't know.
Because you're speculating. I love it.
Well, I just know how this works. I've watched it so long, and I hate to see people taking advantage of. I hate it. I've been there and I've done that. And I just anytime you feel that urge, that FOMO, that fear of missing out, lock it up. Stop. Think high pressure sales. I'm so glad I didn't get into the what's the vacation home. They always
Oh my goodness, we went
timeshare.
Yes, we went
It's
on
a
a
timeshare
vacation.
thing. If
Yes.
you don't buy it now, it'll
Yes.
never be here again.
Yes.
This is the end.
We did.
Timeshare is over right now in 30 minutes. It was unbelievable,
Yeah.
the pressure. And I was thinking, something doesn't feel right.
Yep.
And it was not right. Everybody that got in regretted it.
Yep.
And it's been that way with, what was that? There's several of them.
There are.
I can't think of them. Every time the camera comes on, I can't remember half the stuff I want to say. But just know when that feeling kicks in, like it feels like you're missing out, just let that baby, just sit back and cross your arms and watch it run up, and know whatever goes straight up usually comes straight back down. Because I don't plan on getting in until it looks like cigarette butts on the sidewalk.
You taught me a really good lesson when we were first starting investing. Whenever we would come across something, you said, take a second, Stace. Step back. Let's think about it. Never do an impulse. You said whenever we do impulse, we always regret it. And so we have always learned, every time we did an impulse, we've regretted it. Whenever we took a step back and we either did research, we prayed about it, we talked about it, we always came out so much better. And I think that's the thing with all of this. You have to do your research. You have to look at it. And we're just trying to say what we've learned over the years. I started looking at bills and I started realizing where the money was going. And I'm like, wait a minute, this is adding up. This is going this is going here. We didn't pay for this. And you just have to do due diligence every single month. And let me just tell you, it's not fun. It's extremely time consuming sometimes. It's a pain in the butt. You spend 45 minutes on the phone on hold. And Chris walks in and he goes, are you still on hold? I'm like, yep, I'm still waiting with my headset on. And I'm walking around the house doing the house chores or whatever. But you got to do that or they just keep charging you.
Well, here's the thing. We've always made more money than we needed.
Always.
We've never gone hungry, and we've never been without a place to live.
That's true. But we've always lived within
that means we've always made more money than we need.
Well, we live beyond our
and that's where we all need
our
to
means.
Be. Yeah, that's where you need to be, because leverage sits with the person that doesn't owe anybody. The person that doesn't need, that's who's got the leverage. If I don't need what you got, then I got the leverage.
Sure. Yeah. So I want to talk about one thing I'm trying to do. Let's talk about animals just real quick. I know this is my soft spot.
We're trying to talk about finances.
We are, but we're going to talk about finances when it comes to animals. So a lot of people get wrapped around the ideas, and I am all about animals. Everybody that knows me, I am such an animal person. I know I'm going to go off on a side note, but I think this is something that needs to be said. I am such. So I am such an animal person. Everybody that knows me, I animal rescue. I am I'm an animal person. You bring me an animal, I'm yours. But at the same time, you have to do like cost. So someone contacted us the other day about they were struggling financially and they had so many animals. You have to realize when you're going to take on an animal, that is a huge responsibility. That is a cost. But you also have to say, how can I minimize that cost? And that's what Chris and I started doing when I said, all right, we had a couple animals that were kind of sick. I said, I was going to the vet all the time. I was having cost. I'm looking at the vet bills. I'm like, something's not adding up. How can I fix this? And that's when you have to do research again, one more time, whether it's your health, animals' health. And I said, okay, how can I fix this and minimize health costs? It's always looking at the cost of stuff. I think it's just always, and now their cost is nothing. I know, look at her. She's just sleeping. She's just happy as can be. What are you laughing at? The comments?
Sorry. How would you adopt a monitor lizard?
Would I adopt a what?
A monitor lizard would eat Gigi like that. But anyway, sorry.
A monitor lizard? I don't think I've ever heard of that. It's like a big, super huge lizard?
Yeah, monitor lizards are awesome.
Oh, actually. I don't know. But I'd have to put it, I guess, outside somewhere. I don't know. I don't know what I'd do with
Would you
that.
adopt? Yeah, no, I wouldn't actually. Charger Mopar eats them. He talks about it all the time.
I eat lizards. I'm just saying there's so many ways you can like cost effectively do things differently, including your animals. All right, I'll just let that go with that. But I've learned that. I learned to cut costs.
Okay, so I've got a few notes here that I was going to talk about.
Okay, go for it.
200 people on. I think this is important for everybody to know. So hit the like button if you think so. Always have a crap fund. Always have a fund that you can run to.
I think that's good.
This is so important. I want to cover some financial stuff. And I know that's really baby steps for a lot of people, but there's some people that need to hear it. Let me get back to my notes here. Leverage comes from not needing anybody. Like I said before, you need to be the person that no one need. You don't need anybody. That's who the funds actually come to at the end. In the
Okay. Whoa. Okay. So
don't owe
repeat that.
anybody.
So don't owe anybody, but don't need anybody.
Don't owe anybody. In a deal, the person that doesn't need the other person wins.
Okay, not owing anybody, but you're always going to need somebody.
Leverage comes from not needing the other person.
I'd have to think about that. Because you're always going to need someone else in some aspect. So I kind of disagree with that a little bit, but I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. So she disagrees with that.
I mean, I get it if it's far as a bill.
How about this one?
You don't necessarily, you don't want to owe somebody, so you don't want to have leverage as far as you owe them, so then you're in debt to them, but you're always going to need somebody for something, I would assume.
All right. Well, let's see if you'd disagree with this one. And I have been caught up in this more times, especially in the crypto realm. Always know how to get your money back. I have learned so much. But before we get into that, I got to say something to the Super Chat. Thank you, MNJ. She is a true team player. $1. Thank you for being a good sport. Laugh out loud. I am a good sport most of the time. Most of the time I am. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the Super Chat. It is not needed.
Thank you for being a good sport. What was I like bad against you?
Probably.
I give him a hard time sometimes.
Thank you for the Super Chat, $1.
No, M&J, she's the best. She keeps us going.
M&J's.
She does. She keeps us going. By the way, if you guys check out Discord, if you guys aren't familiar with Discord, go over, check us out. We'll leave a link in the description. I figured out how to make it a permanent link, so you should be able to go over there and check it out. We'll put it in the description or whatever. But yeah, she keeps it going for us.
Well, thank you, $1.
Thank you.
That's very much appreciated. But
right,
listen, always know how to get your money back.
I agree with that.
This is so important because I got involved in some crypto schemes. Now, given I didn't have, I don't know, I put a lot of money in crypto in the beginning, and then it turned to a whole bunch of money, like hundreds of thousands of dollars probably. It went way up. And then I thought, okay, I'm playing everything. And I got into some things that I couldn't really get out of. So to this day, I've still got several $1,000s locked up into things that I cannot access. I did not think that through. It was a really good learning experience for me, and it's humbling to talk about it in front of people. But I thought it was the future of finance, and I think it is eventually. Don't get me wrong. But the biggest takeaway is what I can share with you guys is know how to get your money back. And I don't mean, okay, I just did this. Actually walk it out like I need to do this, and then I can do this, and then talk through it with the other person and really figure out how you can get your money back and how fast it's going to take, because there's a good chance once you go through here, this one is not going to pay.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, because I got most of it back because I figured it out early on.
He did.
And I got most of it back, but there's still a little bit out there that I don't know if I'll ever get back.
I remember one morning I woke up. I had not even had coffee, not even got out of the bed. And he's going, Stacy, it's gone. It's gone. Get out here. Help me. I was like, so crypto is a whole interesting. I think there's something there. I do think the blockchain theory, I think it does have a place. I really do. When you look at the whole entire, just the portion of it. But that at that point we were speculating. Well, I think you got to the point where you were like, what was it called? You were trading your money, the tokens out. But anyway, and so Yeah, it disappears for a while, and then it
Trying to think
doesn't
what it's
show
called.
back up
Yield
for like
farming. It was yield farming.
it doesn't show back up for like 24, 48 hours stuff. Like it's gone. Like it is gone. Yeah.
It's locked up and you can't get it back.
Yeah.
They have your money.
Yeah.
And this is the Wild West.
Yeah.
There is no FDIC. There is no guarantee, nothing.
Yeah.
It's So, do I think crypto is something? Yeah, I do. I actually do. I think blockchain is a really big deal. I think the elections ought to be done on blockchain. It's impossible to fake it.
It is. It's an open ledger. It's an open ledger.
It's an open ledger, and it is what it is. And when people wrap their mind around that, they'll quit beating up crypto so much. But until that day, we're going to have to live through this whole debacle with the government hating crypto because it's actually sound money. It is sound money, although it can be created out of nothing. But if there's only so many of them, then it actually could be something one day. But you put that with a regulation, and you can't hold it in your hands and all that other stuff. I understand. I'm getting a lot of hate in the comments. I cannot believe it's not popping up yet.
Well, he and I
got
have
gold and silver people.
he and I have different beliefs on crypto. I mean, I get the blockchain version. I get it. I get the concept, but the tokens and all that kind of stuff, I'm just not there yet. But he has, and he's speculated. He's a vision person, and you got to have people like that see the vision person, and then you got to have someone that can step in and see more of the detail. And you're the vision person. I give it to you. You are.
Yeah, the vision person can put you in a hurt locker too. So I'm just saying, crypto's here. It's not going away. We're going to be hearing about it for a long time. If you think it's nothing, don't get involved in it. If you do think it's something, and there might be this much chance. Remember, fortunes are made by betting it a little bit on a really big project. So if you bet a little tiny small nothing, something that wouldn't change your life on Bitcoin or Ethereum
junior
or
minor stocks,
whatever, junior minor stocks, I consider those the same.
Mm-hmm.
They're all speculative asymmetric bets that you only bet this much to gain this much.
Yeah.
And if it goes away, it goes away. It doesn't change your life.
So I told someone the other day, because they were asking how that we did that, which, by the way, he's headed to Vancouver, Canada, Saturday.
Yes.
And so meet with a bunch of junior minor stocks and all that, which I'm really excited to see what he's going to come away with. He's meet with some great people. But I told somebody the other day, I said, look at it this way. When you go to dinner and you have a really nice dinner, and so you and say maybe you and your wife or another couple, you're going to spend $100. I mean, we just went right now. We just had sushi salad or whatever, and an appetizer is like $70. So take that money instead and throw it on a speculative minor stock. And so that's kind of how sometimes Chris and I will do it. We'll be like, hey, we'll miss this meal, cook it home, throw it on a speculative. And that's what I told somebody. I was like, that's kind of how we look at it. And if you make it, you do. If you don't, you lost it. Well, that was a meal that you didn't go out.
We're not putting a lot on these
small
junior.
And we're not financial advisors.
Absolutely not. We have to say that, but I want to say that because I'm the worst at timing the market. I've actually given financial advice to a couple of friends about gold and silver. Hey, this is precious metals. It's hard. It holds your wealth, and it went down in value. And they were like, "What happened? You gave me financial advice, and it sucked." And now, here I am. But it's actually done better than anything, any stock, it's actually holding up really good.
It is. I think the economic engine just jumped on. But anyway, that's our
ninja.
He said something about wearing my pants or something. But that's just kind of, so that's some of the stuff. So you guys let us know, what are some ways that you can save when you look at your bills, when you look at what's going on. That's what I do every month. I pull out our stuff. Matter of fact, I even called our loan the other day. I said, why is this not adding up? I'm paying extra every month on a piece of land that we had. What is not adding up with the price? So I'm like, just question. Don't be scared to pick up the phone and question and say, what is with this extra fee? What am I paying? Because that is money that you're paying out of pocket. And if you can save money, hey, I'm all for saving money.
All right. Well, before we let everybody go, invest in assets. This is something that I've noticed that the wealthy do. All of them. They have businesses and assets that pay them monthly. It's like, in their bank account, like boom, boom, boom. They're not speculating and holding and hoping for the best. They actually have things that pay them to own them every month. They're looking at cash flow, and that's it. That's something everybody needs to know. Diversification. This goes for banks. Don't have all your money in one bank. And if you do, remember, I told you not to do that. That is something I can do without being a financial advisor. Do not have all your money in one place, 100% for sure. Do not do it. If you have all your money on, if you have your cryptos on some platform, even if it's Coinbase or something, Tether or some kind of crap like that, get it off there and put it on something hard. Put that hard thing, Ledger or Trezor, on in your safe
or a safe place.
Be your own custodian. Eliminate third-party risks. It's the same thing. These cryptos will probably be something one day, but they will not be nothing if you do not own them. So please understand that. And if you don't understand what I'm saying, don't get involved in cryptocurrency. Strategic tax planning. If you're don't really know what's going on with your taxes and you're just going to H&R Block, you need to get away from that. And I heard Robert Kiyosaki say this: your highest paid tax person needs to be your CPA. So remember that going into the Thunderdome. The more money you can save, the more money you earn. Professional management. If you don't think you have what it takes, hire somebody professional. It's worth noting that these methods don't guarantee that the wealthy will maintain their wealth, as the market and economic conditions can change, but the methods can help them increase the chances of doing so. It's just some notes I had at the end of the video. Guys, what I want you to do is have wealth, keep it, maintain it, and I hope we can help you prosper it through this channel. So if you like this kind of content, like it, subscribe, ring the bell. We will see you in the next one. Now, Charger Mopar. He is one of my favorites.
I want to meet you one day.
Nostradamus. Electrical Prepper. Thank you for being here, buddy. Old Possum Outdoors. 5150. Nancy Omachi. It's great advice. Electrical Prepper. Tim Mathewson. Steve Hall. A Million Regret Tips.
Oh, he
He's
contacts
in there
a lot.
all the time.
Yep.
Carlos.
Sin City Prepping. He's in there a lot. How you guys?
Carlos. Pete. My good buddy Pete.
Hi, Pete.
You go up there, I'll go here.
Well.
Steven. The Economic Ninja. Gelatin Acres. All right, guys. I've had you long enough.
Yep. Way longer.
All right. Have an awesome, awesome day. We'll see you in the next one.